Hello, everybody.
Hello. Welcome back
To the past made me do it.
Formerly known as Historia.
Yes, rip. Just kidding. We've brought this baby back to life, and
We're rebranding.
we are. So thank you so much if you tuned in for last week's episode on American lobotomies. Super fun topic. We loved it. It actually did bring up a good conversation, so always good to reflect on the past, and that's why we have this podcast.
Especially when it comes to mental health. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's all too real.
Oh, for sure, for sure. So, how you doing, Jamie?
I'm doing great. I'm tired. I didn't
Yeah.
get enough coffee intake.
It's that time of day where, like, we're recording at, like, 3 p.m., which is so funny.
I need some coffee.
We used to record at, like, 10 p.m., but...
I know. It's, like, impossible to do now unless we're
Yeah.
like, hey.
Yeah, so we just kind of record whenever we can. But yeah, I don't think we ever, like, recorded at this time. Maybe we started at this time, but then we would stop at, like, 9 p.m. We used to record, like, 4 to 5 episodes
Yeah.
a night, which is crazy.
Yeah.
We're putting our max at 2.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anyway.
That's life for you.
Now that you know behind the scenes.
Trying to make time work. We
Right.
have very busy schedules between just work and then
Yeah.
life and
Life is
babies.
a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So anyway, but we like to start off with our podcast with a little segment called What's Been Happening?
You're so much better at it. What's been happening?
Just go do 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 do.
I should get a little whistle or recorder. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get a recorder.
Just do do do.
Hot cross buns that shit.
You know, we
God.
could just use the sound on here. Get a little music track.
Or I can just use like one of your baby toys.
True, yeah. Oh yeah, she's got the whole band. Could find some.
Choo 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 choo.
Anyway, what's been happening, Jamie?
So again, as of right now, as we're talking, 38 days of government shutdown.
Yep.
It's been a shit show. And I want to talk a little bit more about Kylie is like more of the fun person of like, hey, what's cool going on? And I'm like, let's talk about the depressing shit.
That's just how I cope with things, okay?
I am very just an angry person, I guess, when it comes to politics. And it's now affecting aviation. So again, I flew a couple, I think it was like early October. We flew across the country with Julia for the first time, my daughter. And oh my God, it wasn't terrible, but it could have been better, of course. I noticed though, while we were going through the airport, a lot of flights were getting delayed because those controller legs, they weren't getting paid. They aren't getting paid. And so a lot of them, it caused huge delays, some flight cancellations. Well, now the Federal Aviation Administration put a huge statement out to the airlines here in the US saying, yeah, you need to start cutting flights because there's just not enough people getting paid. A lot of them are on furlough. And so just for like Saturday, like today, there's been over 1,000 cancellations in flights.
Oh my God.
And many more being delayed, rescheduled. It's a whole thing.
I saw a video of the Denver airport right now, and it's a shit show.
Yeah, because
It always is, but it's worse now.
Yeah, and airlines have like made whole spiels on like their social media saying if your flight gets canceled, we'll email you and you can find like another flight and stuff like that. But it sucks, especially right now, because the American Thanksgiving is happening at the end of the month, and we don't know if the government will be open, and that time of month
When everyone travels.
is when everyone travels.
They're going to be having to change their plans, a little backup plan.
Exactly. It's like, you may not see your family this year unless you want to drive, because that is how it is.
It'd be like that.
Yeah. So,
damn.
Another shit show caused because of this shutdown. No shock.
In other news,
I'm petty.
Mine is kind of funny. I don't know why I chose this one.
Oh my God.
This is the new sexiest man alive. Do you know who it is?
Oh yeah, it's a Wicked guy.
Jonathan Bailey.
Oh, I love him.
Well deserved.
He's
so fine.
handsome.
Yeah. Oof, so fine. I was watching the Wicked concert that they did on Peacock. Highly recommend. If you're a musical theater nerd like me, I was crying. But the whole time I was just staring at him like, how is he a human? He's perfect. I love him.
I'm so excited for season 4 of Bridgerton.
I'm excited for Wicked Part 2.
Oh my God.
For good. I will watch Bridgerton once it's fully done.
It probably won't be. It'll probably be soon enough.
Yeah, because I'm tired of this, like, let's wait a few years. Like, all the shows that are like, oh, the next season will be coming soon. And then it's like 4 years later. I'm talking about, Euphoria. At this point, I don't care. When it comes back, I don't care. Stranger Things took way too long. But when that one's about to come out this month, which is exciting. I'm going to rewatch all of it when it comes out. I like that show. But when they take years, I'm just like, I lose interest so quick.
Makes sense.
So I'd rather just watch it all when it's like all done.
Well, it definitely will be a couple of years, because I think there's like 8 Bridgerton children, and if they're doing every single one of them, you got another 4 years.
All right. Well, I'll be watching it when I'm like 40.
Well,
when it's finally done.
I mean, the last season came out last May. And the new one is coming out in January.
Okay. That's not bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jonathan Bailey, congrats. You deserve it, buddy. Love ya.
Buddy.
Anyway, that's the news. That's what's been happening.
We got Hollywood media and government media.
And airplanes.
Airplanes.
But today we are going to be leaving America.
Oh.
And going somewhere fun. France.
Oh.
And let me just say, I don't know why I choose topics in France, because I cannot do the accent. I cannot pronounce these words. Like, before Jamie got here, I was just over here, like, Google translating, like, how to pronounce these names. And I'm going to mess them up. Okay, so I'm so sorry if you're in France, if you speak French and you just hear me butcher these names. Like, I am sorry. But that's just what's going to happen.
Our education system doesn't let us.
Yeah, they're not going to teach us how to pronounce these things here. But I'll do my best, so don't make fun of me. But I'm really excited for the topic. This one's a really fun one. A while back, like one of our very first episodes that I did was The Dancing Plague. And I loved how chaotic that one was. I was like, I want something chaotic to do, especially because Halloween just happened. It's my favorite holiday. We didn't get to do any like fun Halloween topics, so I was like, this one's kind of like borderline Halloween, because it kind of has to deal with witchcraft a bit.
Love it.
So today we're going to be talking about the Affair of the Poisons.
Whoa.
Have you ever heard of this before?
Can't say that I have.
It's pretty fun. Pretty cool. My references today come from, I actually read like a book on it. Like not the whole book, but I skimmed it. So that's a new one for me, because I usually just go straight for the documentaries, the articles. But there's a book called The Affair of the Poisons by Anne Somerset. Highly recommend. It was very fascinating. It was kind of hard to like understand at points, but I was like sucked in. I just skipped some of it because I was running out of time. I also got some information from atlasobscura.com and history.howstuffworks.com. A good website. So let's talk about the Affair of the Poisons that took place in France from 1677 to 1682. So we're going in the fun times.
Real back.
I know. I like don't usually choose topics this long ago, so this is fun. We are going to talk firstly about the king of the time, Louis XIV.
Ugh.
This guy was so dramatic, and like he was such a diva. Like, if I had to describe him in one word, I would say diva. He was obsessed with his little wigs. He was obsessed with, like, charming women, which I don't even know how he did because he's not attractive. Look up pictures. But he got the women, okay? Like, he was getting them left and right.
Because he's wealthy.
Yeah.
And he's a king.
Right. But he was also, like, anxious AF, like constantly scared, which like same. Louis XIV lived September 5th, 1638 to September 1st, 1715. He almost died on his birthday. That would have been crazy.
It's kind of old.
Yeah, he lived a long time. And he was king of France from 1643 to 1715, ruling from his great palace at Versailles. And in his palace, he had 2,000 rooms.
Versailles is huge.
Yeah, yeah. And so he actually had the longest reign of any European monarch. So congrats to you, buddy. But like I said, he loved his wigs. He loved parties. And of course, just like any king, he loved having as much power as possible. He also liked to pretend nothing weird was happening when weird things were definitely happening. So,
What?
The biggest thing that was happening is his palace, although it was lavish and huge and, you know, he was getting all the women to hook up with him. You know, people were living in his palace. It smelled very bad, okay? There was a terrible smell that lived in the palace, and it was because they were far from a river. And so all of the sewage disposal was very challenging.
No central plumbing.
Yeah, so literally, like, anywhere they went in the palace, you just smelt sewage.
Ew.
Which is probably one of the grossest things I can imagine.
They didn't have Sensi's back then.
No, there was like no way to cover it. And so
No Febreze.
Yeah, right. So the few bathrooms that they did have were poorly maintained and often overflowing with waste.
Ew.
So, ew. That's all I
That
can
shit nasty.
Yeah. But that's not even the worst part, because another smell began to overpower the sewage.
Sage.
No. Dun, dun, dun. Influential members of the French nobility began to die unexpectedly and close to each other. They were basically like buried on top of each other. That's how quick they were dying.
So, decay.
Yep.
Ew.
And you might be like, what? How are they dying? That's so weird. Well, the autopsies showed that their insides were corroded and black. They had been struck with poison.
Oh, shit.
So that brings us to the affair of the poisons. It was one of the largest witch trials in modern history. And so it is technically witch trials. You'll see why. But it claimed 2 to 3 times as many lives as the Salem witch trials across the Atlantic.
People for, like, Americans, primarily. I'm just shitting on Americans these 2 weeks. I don't know why. But, I mean, the European witch trials were so extreme.
Oh, yeah.
And there were so many lives lost because of it. Like, Salem witch trials are like a joke in comparison to the European witch trials.
Oh, for sure.
It's absolutely devastating.
You could be like, oh, that person's a woman. Oh, we're going to kill her. She's probably a witch. Like, people were just dying like crazy. You know, it was wild.
Yeah.
So I've always been fascinated by it because I'm like, really? Y'all just like killing people for mostly no reason? Like,
It's crazy. They're like, if she floats, she's a witch.
yeah.
If she doesn't float, she drowns.
Yeah.
She's
so
a witch.
Either way, she's going to die.
Yeah.
Didn't we cover Salem witch trials?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. So yeah, this is another witch trial experience. Buckle up. So back in this time, to impress the king and the court, the nobility had to buy very nice things, such as carriages, certain clothes, and entertainment. They were spending so much money each day.
No shock.
Yeah. And they're burning through their money because of the amount of gambling that was happening. That was like what they did in their time because there was like nothing else to do. And so they were just spending just so much money every single day. And this created a little underground business that would not make King Louis XIV happy. There was an underground network of fortune tellers, astrologers, witches, and abortionists. Okay, so they just had like a whole thing going. And they were able to access drugs, poisons for black masses and for criminal purposes. And they were also selling love potions.
So it's literally the black market.
Yep. Except like an actual market.
The actual black market.
Yeah. Not online. But Louis XIV attended mass every day and was described as the most libertine in Europe. He was known to be like very religious. Like he took his religion very seriously, as they all do, right? But like I said, he was a very charming womanizer. He had lots of lovers, but 3 that he like was with for a long time. He had children with, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. He had lots of kids. I forgot the exact number, but he had 3 main lovers, and one of them was a big part of the affair of the poisons. And her name was Madame de Montespan. How'd that sound? That's good. If I wanted to say it the white way, I would just say Montespan, but I'm not going to say it that way. Montespan. Okay, so Madame de Montespan was witty, smart, ambitious, and she was very threatened by other pretty women. She's like, she kind of saw herself as like Queen Bee.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm on top. She's like the Regina George. You know what I mean? And she was also the king's favorite lover. So she knew that, and she's like, step aside, whores. Oh my God. And so, yeah, she was like, I run the show here. I'm the one in charge. So just keep her in mind, because she's going to play a vital part to this whole thing. But along with gambling, there were a lot of other hobbies that people were interested in, some very sketchy ones. And many people began to use fortune telling and palm reading as a pastime. So this is where they were like really diving into magic and witchcraft and all of that.
Lord.
But how did poison become a trend? Because it was very trendy. Well, in 1672, the French police investigated a break-in at a laboratory of a recently deceased officer named Sainte-Croix. And they found a red leather trunk in his lab, which held letters, vials, and suspicious substances. So Sainte-Croix, the deceased officer, had previously been in a love affair with Marie de Brinvilliers, who was married. Okay. Oh, and she was like well known for her marriage. Like
scandalous.
Yeah, they were like one of the most well-known couples. She was like wealthy. People knew who she was. And so he was actually imprisoned for the affair.
Which they did.
Yeah. And again, it's an officer, so kind of makes sense, I think, why he was in prison. But while he was imprisoned, he met an Italian named Agito Exili, and he was basically an expert poisoner. Okay, so he knew his stuff. And so he basically kind of taught Sainte-Croix all of the fun things about poison. Huh. Super fun. He taught him all of the poison techniques, and it was hard to detect when poison was used, of course. And so when the Italians basically brought it to France, France was kind of panicking, like, how can we get rid of this? Like, how do we know if it's in our food? And they were freaking out. And the Italians were just like, mwahahaha. So yeah, it alarmed the French public. They were freaking out a little bit. And Sainte-Croix spent his last few years experimenting with alchemy and creating a tasteless, odorless, nearly untraceable poison, thanks to the help of his buddy. He tested it on patients at a nearby hospital by lacing cakes and sweets.
Holy shit.
And the girl I was talking about that he had an affair with, Marie de Brinvilliers, she was actually helping him.
Whoa.
Yeah, so when he got out of prison, he like came back to her and was like, hey, I have this new talent poisoning people. You want to try it with me? And she's like, oh yeah, I've been learning some things about that.
Oh my God.
And so they just started poisoning people together. The sketchy thing about her is she was doing it before he was. So she was kind of like using him to like blame him of like, oh yeah, he taught me how to do it all. But she had already known about poison. Like she already had her connections.
Was she like kind of like a Black Widow in a
sense?
Kind of,
yeah. So she's really interesting. There's not a lot about her, so it's kind of like,
Because she's a woman, they probably didn't document her.
Right. But in the trunk that they found in Santa Claus lab, they discovered things from her. And like she had written letters about her dad and her 2 brothers that were deceased, like who mysteriously disappeared.
Is she a serial killer, you think?
Basically, yeah.
Or like a family annihilator?
Yeah, basically.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so once the news spread about that, she basically ran away.
Oh, I thought she was going to get guillotined.
Well, just wait. Because she, in the letters that they found in the trunk, she's mentioning, like, once they died, all the fortune went to me. And now I have it all, you know? And so she's like, I'm living large, like.
So she literally gave her whole, like, evil monologue.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She wrote it all down, like, people weren't going to find it one day. Come on, girl. Let's not do that.
Dude, that has to mean that she has some sort of like narcissist tendencies if she is writing her whole like
it's like she wants to be caught
murder monologue.
Yeah. And so once it was discovered though, and she knew it was discovered, she fled Paris and she wasn't captured for 4 years. It took 4 years for them to find her, and she was finally arrested in Belgium.
I'm surprised they found her at all.
I know. She was probably surprised too.
It was the
like,
1600s.
Yeah. So I don't know how they found her, but yeah, she was in Belgium just living her life.
Should have got a haircut.
Yeah. And so when they caught her, she's like, I'm mad. I'm crazy. I have all these things wrong with me. And they're like, yeah, right. Just come here. It's too late. So she was found guilty and subjected to water torture.
Oh.
Where she was forced to name her accomplices, stripped naked and bound, and 24 pints of water were forced down her throat. Yeah. So yeah, it's basically drowning. But then she had the nerve to talk back to them. And she's like, do you see how small I am? How do you expect me to drink all this water? So after that, she was beheaded and burned at the stake.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they weren't messing around.
No.
Yeah, the water torture sounds pretty bad. But before she was killed, she let the crowd know that there were many others out there still that, like, she was working with.
Oh, my God.
So she's basically like, good luck catching them all.
Oh, my God.
And then died.
Savage.
Got killed. Yeah. So let's talk about Paris in the 1670s. The streets were filthy, as they still are, and superstition lived everywhere. Authority was a little bit shaky.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like these days, but yeah, it was shaky for a while. Nobles are bored, petty, and murder curious. They're bored, basically. And poison became a huge trend of the decade because, well, many things, but divorce was practically impossible. And that's like the biggest reason. Women had basically no power or legal rights. And so if they wanted to escape a marriage, they literally couldn't unless they poisoned him.
That's why poison is a woman's choice, a murder.
Yeah. And so that's who mostly was doing it were the women. But I'm like, really? Because I feel like if men did it, they just wouldn't question the men.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was like mostly women or if that's just the ones that they were like, oh, she's a witch. She poisoned her husband. But yeah, they had like no rights at all. The husbands controlled everything and the women had no financial independence. So of course they want to get rid of them. So inheritance laws were also a little messy. So that was another problem and why they wanted to poison. French aristocratic inheritance rules often meant that their fortune goes to someone that they hated or someone who's waiting for them to die. And so if they're like, why would I want my money to go to them? I'm just going to kill them off, basically.
Yeah.
And kill off until it's somebody I like. And then I'll let them live so that they can have my inheritance. So
That's wild.
This was like girl math back in the day. But yeah, so that's like the biggest reasons why people used poison back then. It was a financial strategy, basically. And people killed for money, land, property, toxic relatives, titles, and revenge. Yeah.
Love it.
It was also very easy to get and was available at shops. Like you could just go down and get some. Yeah.
That's wild.
Mostly because it was found in like household items. And when And people were able to kind of pass on, like, this is how you can poison people, you know. You're going to buy those items. You're not going to look very sketchy because you need the household items. Till you lace your friend's cake with it.
Oh my God.
So poison deaths were often passed off as stomach illness, and the deaths weren't really investigated. Obviously, they couldn't do much back then, but they basically were just kind of like, oh, this person must have died of sickness. You know, there were so many sicknesses going around. The plague happened. They're like, you know, they're just sick. Like, they must have just had a stomach bug.
So many fevers, too, that cause death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when so many people are dying at one time, you don't really have time to just, like, do autopsies on all of them to investigate kind of what happened. So most of the time they didn't. And so there were so many people just getting away with poisoning.
And there weren't like really detectives.
Right. Yeah. It's like, what, 5 detectives in Paris? You think they're going to take the time to investigate?
I don't even know
everyone?
they really had them at that point.
Right. We're going to talk about a lieutenant, but yeah, I don't think they had anyone that was like good. But people really believed in the power of fortune tellers, love potions, spells, black magic, prophecy, and charms. And potions were basically sold like how we can go and buy crystals today. We go to this cute little town called Manitou. You can buy a bunch of crystals there, easy to access, but it's like for the people who like kind of believe in it and for the people who like believe in the power of it.
There are so many gem stores.
Yeah. It's kind of like what potions were like back then, so you could just go and go to a potion store, which sounds kind of fun. But not the poison part.
No. No.
Because Paris had a lot of poverty, underground economies, unregulated professions, and abandoned children, poison fit perfectly in with the chaos. And it took a while for people to realize what was going on. So the Paris police were working hard trying to figure out, like, why are all these people dying? And they, of course, began to feel suspicious about all the mysterious deaths. All deaths were connected by one thing. The people who kept dying were people who stood in the way of someone's money or romance. So as they, like, interrogated people, they realized they all had, like, a common theme. There was something standing in their way.
I'm surprised they even caught on to that.
I know, right? So enter Lieutenant General Nicolas de la Reynie. He was the head of Paris police. King Louis XIV basically appointed him because he had just implemented like gun control and city safety. He just like started putting laws out about street cleaning. So he was like the big guy. And King Louis is like, we need your help. Perhaps something's going on around here. I don't know. I don't know how to do a French accent, so I just did British. I'm sorry. Imagine him as like the French Sherlock Holmes. That's basically his job.
Oh my God.
He like they didn't know a lot back then, so he's just like walking around like, what could it be? And so
just harassing people on the street. Did you say this?
Yeah, exactly. But he was the one who eventually uncovered the entire network of poisoners and fortune tellers. So let's talk about the investigation, which, again, is between 1677 and 1682. And in between that time, they found over 400 suspects in poisoning and occult practices. They found wealthy nobles hiring witches to solve family problems. They found poison sellers supplying arsenic as inheritance powder, is what they called it.
Oh my God.
Illegal abortion providers. A big reason for the abortions was because, like, it was one way that women felt like they were in control. Because if, like, they're forced to be with these men and then the men impregnate them and that's literally the only goal, it was their way of kind of being like, you thought you could take control of me.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, abortion started trending. And people, like, wanted to do them because it was women's way of getting their body back and, like, taking control, basically.
Yeah.
There were also secret gatherings where people asked demons for favors. And many links between, you remember, good old Madame de Montespan. She had poisoned the mistress before her, is what people think. Because his previous mistress randomly died. And she was in perfect health. But then one day, she did not wake up. And so once people started realizing, like, Montespa's kind of crazy, they're like, oh, she definitely poisoned her.
Oh, shit.
So allegedly, she poisoned the mistress before her. Makes sense to me. I don't know. She wants to be the star. She wants to be the biggest lover. Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, exactly. The entire investigation got so big that Louis XIV created a special court for it. And it was called the Chambre Ardente, which means the burning court. The name came from the torches used at the trials. So, they found a lot of poison rings, note exchanges, and a whole underground economy. Everyone began freaking out, and chaos was ensued once the word spread. People were accusing each other, trying to get people in trouble, saying like, oh, I saw them go in there. They're acting sketchy, you know. Mm-hmm. Basically just like freaking out. And at this time, everyone's like thinking they're going to get poisoned. So you're just constantly on edge.
Oh my God.
Which is so fun. Including King Louis. He was freaking out.
And he's already anxious as it is.
Yeah, exactly. At first he was like, nothing weird is happening. And then once the lieutenant like sat him down and was like, dude, do you not realize that like what's happening? Mm-hmm. He was like, oh, are they going to hurt me? Like he was just like so worried. So he's like sweating under his wig. He's like, he's terrified.
His many wigs.
Oh, yeah. So the reason why Madame de Montespa, his lover, was so involved is because once people were interrogated, they were basically taken into like the little chamber. Once they were interrogated, a lot of them confessed to her being the one that they bought love potions from. Because she specialized in love potions. Others tried to spread news that she participated in black masses. Allegedly. We don't know for sure. But she seems a little,
off her rocker.
Yeah, a little bit. And France is just straight up in panic mode at this time. Once they learn about her, they're like, oh my God, like this woman's crazy. Imagine who else is crazy out there. But the crazy thing about her, like I said, she specialized in love potions. She had allegedly used love potions and spells to keep Louis XIV obsessed with her. And a lot of people believe this because he loved her. Like he never gave up on her. And even when they weren't like sexual partners anymore, like he still let her like live in the palace. And like they were like friends forever.
I mean, maybe they just had great conversation.
Yeah. And kids together. I'm like,
they talked about their wigs.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe she gave him good fashion advice, you know, or the other way around. Like
they both were wearing heels.
Yeah, but everyone's like, no, it has to be a love potion. That's the only reason he'd keep her around.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't put it past her to still do something like that,
right? All right, but let's be honest. Although Montespa wanted to be like the star of the show, she was not. Because we have another diva.
Oh, God.
The real star of the show was named Catherine, but she goes by her little nickname, La Vensoir. Okay. She was the ultimate anti-hero. So, Catherine was a midwife, a fortune teller, and a poison seller. She had lots of side hustles, including love potions, abortion services, magical rituals, and inheritance powder, aka poison.
Damn.
Yeah. She allegedly hosted black masses where priests performed rituals over naked women, and had many clients, including nobles, mistresses, gossip queens, and people trying to get rich quick.
Damn.
So she was like the one you went to when you were like, you needed help. You wanted to be a part of the business.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So Montespa was like the one that was like, hey guys, like, how's it going? You know, she was like the one who was kind of like an influencer, basically, of the time, where like people liked her because she was like cool and whatnot.
Charismatic.
Yeah. Whereas like Catherine was like the badass, like mob boss bitch. You know what I mean?
She was the Don.
Yeah, exactly. Like people were like worshiping her every step. So yeah, she was basically the queen pin of the poison underground, and she supplied potions to nobles who wanted to kill their husbands and rivals. Many were also interested in her love potions to keep their loves faithful. And so she kind of had a little competition going on with Montespa with their love potions.
Oh my God.
Every woman in Paris knew who she was. And she was one woman who wasn't afraid of making as much money as possible. A lot of women were scared of making money at the time. They weren't allowed to overpower the men. Catherine didn't give a... She was like, yeah, she's like, I'm going to make as much money as possible.
I mean, don't blame her.
Yeah. So clients would be waiting on her long before she was even awake for the day. She just had a line of people every single day.
Oh my God.
I like to imagine she was like late because she's like, whatever, I'll get to them when I can. And so she just rolls in at like 10 a.m. She's like, straight line, single file.
How did the police not catch on?
They're hiding in alleys. They're hiding like in actual like underground areas. There was like sketchy things happening in the palace. Like,
that's just wild.
It was everywhere. Yeah. I don't know what the police were doing.
Twiddling their thumbs and
waiting for crime.
Literally waiting for it to pass by them.
Yeah. But one thing about Catherine that was interesting is like she was super religious as well. And so she kind of thought of herself as like a spiritual guide. And so her occult powers, as she called them, were a gift from God. And so people trusted her because she used religion. They're like, okay, so because she's Catholic, we're gonna trust her because so am I, you know, and she's following the structure of the religion.
Yeah.
So we're gonna trust her. Like she had that credibility. The Catholics were like, yeah, yes, mother.
Oh God.
So Lieutenant Lorraine learned a lot about this world from Lavoisin after she was arrested. So that's Catherine. She ended up being caught, finally.
No surprise.
And when she did, she gave names of people who worked for her and her clients. She was just like name dropping.
What a bitch.
Yeah. And she mentioned one of her clients being Louis XIV's ex, Mademoiselle de Orleans. The king freaked out and told Lorraine to put all investigations and interrogations on loose pieces of paper so that they could easily be burned and kept from the eyes of the public if they needed to.
Oh my.
Yeah, so once his lover started getting involved, he was like, I don't want to be involved in this. And he also got scared because she had been involved. So he's scared that like she's going to try to poison him. So yeah, he just told Lorraine, like, be ready to burn these at any time so the proof doesn't get out there.
You would think after like all of this, Louis would have been like, okay, I'm done with mistresses.
I know. The women were wild in. I think he liked it. I think he liked the drama.
Probably. Because again, like all these aristocrats were aristocrats.
Yeah.
Aristocrats were so bored.
Right. Yeah.
That having
this was so
something like
exciting
this.
at the time.
Yeah.
So King Louis was very paranoid. Someone would try to poison him. And this whole time, he's just freaking out. He's like done with women for a while. He's like not trusting them anymore.
It would be hard to.
Yeah. He also has children. He's scared of his children getting poisoned. Like he just doesn't really trust anyone. 11 months after Catherine was arrested, she was burned alive in a public square, was tortured for 3 days first, but then burned at the stake. Yeah. They really wanted to torture her. But her last words were, "There is an infinite number of people engaged in this evil trade." So she's like, they're still out there. Good luck. Kind of the same thing that the first one said.
Yeah.
So the burning room that they used to interrogate was located deep in a royal warehouse. And now you can actually visit it. It's like a library. It's a refurbished library.
Interesting.
But yeah, if you ever want to do that when you're in Paris, go for it.
Oh my God.
But it was lit by torches and it had windows covered in a black cloth and 13 investigators. I don't know who these people were, but just random people that were like, I'm here to help.
Oh my God.
So they also had doctors and pharmacists down there because they were like using them to like ask questions. And then any people who claimed to be doctors and pharmacists were also being interrogated, of course. And they had to show like proof of like who all they've given things to, all the medical records, basically. So they kind of started off with the doctors and the pharmacists to be like, who did you give this to? What's going on? You know? And then they used all that information to like catch the people and like ask them questions, basically.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So after the whole Catherine incident, 5 people were sentenced to life imprisonment, 23 were banished, and 36 were sentenced to death. The executed were either decapitated, hanged, strangled, or burnt alive.
Holy shit.
So, out of the entire population of Paris, which I don't know what it was at the time, but 442 total people were charged with crimes related to involvement in evil spells and composing, disrupting, and administrating poison. So, these were basically just people who, like, they couldn't really... and not prove that they like poisoned anyone, but like they weren't sketchy enough, but they were still sketchy. Mm-hmm. So they basically were charged, but they weren't like beheaded. So many were able to flee and live the rest of their lives as fugitives. King Louis got rid of any evidence against de Montespan. That was the first wife we talked about.
Yeah.
Most likely because they had 7 children together. And she was still invited to his parties and was around a lot, like I said. So they burned all of the evidence of her being involved.
How did they discover then that she had involvement?
I think when they questioned her, because people had basically told on her. Oh. When they questioned her, she's kind of like, yeah, I did. And she was like, kind of honest about it, but I think she used the argument of like, I wasn't trying to poison anyone, I was focused on the love potions.
Well, I wonder for like that documentation, if they burned it, they had to have it somewhere else then.
I know, because I'm like, how do we know about it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's why it's like allegedly, because I think a lot of it turned into gossip.
Oh.
She was like the one that they were like, well, she's involved with the king, so she can get away with anything. Mm-hmm. And so she was like the one that everyone was like, she's the one in charge. So she may not have been doing any of this.
Yeah. It's just gossip going around.
Right. She was seen in the areas. She was seen giving out potions, but like, she may not have been in the black masses. You know, like she might have just been like a small part of it. Mm-hmm. But then the gossip just kind of like spewed her name everywhere.
Rampant, yeah. And that's the tricky thing with history this old, is that a lot of it is word of mouth, and gossip has always been there. Right. And it can start off as like truth, but then eventually as it keeps going it's like a game of telephone, that eventually when it gets to enough people, the story starts to turn. Right. And shift. Yeah. So I'm just very curious that like with Louis being so paranoid about poison. Like, yeah. That I know it's very common it was very common in like Korean culture, all like Asian culture. I'm pretty sure it was in Europe too, where they always had someone that would eat their food beforehand. Yeah. To make sure that it wasn't poisoned.
Yeah, basically that was someone's job. Yeah. I just imagine him freaking out and like not eating for days, and they're like, Louis, come on.
It's like, this person literally just ate your food and they're fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think anyone tried to poison him, surprisingly.
I guess which is shocking because he didn't seem like that great of a king if he was spending all that money.
I think it was because he was like such a socialite. Like he loved to party. And so I think people like respected him for that reason. Yeah. But also the religion aspect, like he was very religious, or at least he portrayed to be. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, people liked him a lot. So good for him.
Give it a couple more decades with be the end of the monarchy.
Right. So to finish off here, in April 1682, Lorraine acknowledged that it was time to move on. Most of the key players were taken care of, and it seemed that the poison slowed down. They weren't noticing like as many quick deaths. I'm sure they were still happening once in a while, but like they couldn't catch anyone else as much as they tried. They shut down all the underground businesses. There was like no one else that they could find to question. And so he's like, I guess I'll give it up. And so he's like slowly interrogating like once in a while. But the king finally told him in July of that year, you can stop now. I think we're good. So the rest of the documents that they had were burned, and the investigation was over.
Damn.
So we cannot find evidence of like who all was involved. We just know those key people who were well known. But yeah, there's not like a list of everyone who was involved.
Which is really unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. But life at the court carried on after that, and witchcraft and magic lived on. Paris stayed obsessed with witchcraft for many years, and nobles avoided fortune tellers for a while. People were like, don't trust them. And Louis XIV became more religious, and he stayed paranoid forever.
Oh my God.
So there was someone who constantly had to check his food for him. He wouldn't like leave without someone being like going out first. So anytime he left the palace, he would be like the fifth one to leave because he like didn't trust that like someone was gonna attack him or something. He was very paranoid.
Well, yeah, especially after like multiple of his mistresses being accused of this and murdered. Like,
right. It's crazy. So the lesson of the story: don't drink mystery potions, especially in Paris.
Especially in Paris and Versailles at this point.
Exactly. Yeah.
Louis.
Yeah, that's where it started. But yeah, that's the affair of the poisons. So
that's crazy.
Lots of interesting stuff there. I'm really curious what they put in the love potions. Like, I don't know what they held, but
water. Diluted water. Maybe some like rose petals or something.
I would like give anything to just be like a fly on the wall and just like see like how the businesses were structured and how chaotic it was. Like, I just want to like the fortune tellers. Like, I just want to see those things. You know, I wish I could just like go back in time and just like witness it, but not be involved.
Right.
Just like see it. You know.
Yeah, kind of like them one. It was like a TV show, like Mr. Peabody and Sherman.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where they like he like teaches Sherman history by like visiting it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be pretty cool.
That would be really cool.
We'd probably understand a lot more.
True.
Because you gotta take history with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Especially history that old.
I know. I'm curious how much of this is true and like how much like just kind of like became gossip, you know?
Right.
But that's the affair of the poisons. So very fascinating.
I did not know about that.
I didn't either.
French history is very interesting to me.
There's just such random things that happened there.
No kidding. It's so random.
Like, they really were creative.
Yeah. I guess they were just starving and creative.
Exactly.
That's French for you.
But thank you all so much for listening.
We appreciate it. We're still working on our socials, so we'll get that out to you.
We'll update you with it soon.
When we get it. So.
But yeah, we're about to jump into the holidays. All the fun things that go with that. We have some
holiday
season. We have some fun topics coming up, and we're excited.
We'll catch you next week, so just wait and see.
Yeah, don't get poisoned. Love ya. Bye.